One of the things, the only freedom the right has yelled about is the right to bear arms. They act like the First Amendment doesn't even exist. It's always the same.
Has things changed? Has the viewpoint and the terms behind that statement we just heard changed? Because at this moment, it's actually hard to tell. We as the people are supposed to be able to tell. Good morning, Vietnam. Let's get to it.
Good morning, Vietnam!
One of the things, the only freedom the right has yelled about is the right to bear arms. They act like the First Amendment doesn't even exist. It's always the same. They wanted to carry guns in churches. They wanted them at schools. They wanted teachers to have them. They wanted them on college campuses. They want to walk around with long arms, walking through the mall or Starbucks. They passed laws where 18-year-olds can have guns and walk around with them. You didn't have to have a permit or anything. You could just walk around with guns. And now, all of a sudden, the people who push for all that has a problem with a license, with a dude with a firearm.
Now, you just heard D.L. Hughley. And me as a person, I don't always agree with anything D.L. and everything D.L. says. There are some times when he does say some things, makes you ask yourself a question. Is he actually right? The same people in which preserved, pushed, and made sure that a certain right was, why is it now? Is it seeming like American civilians are paying the price? There's something not adding up here. There's video footage of an American citizen losing his life. Not because he was brandishing a firearm, not because he threatened to do some mayhem and or hurt somebody, even though himself. The video shows him actually getting the weapon, take his waist, and then actually being after the fact. So we gotta wonder, what is transpiring out there in Minneapolis that we are not understanding? Because if you're there for the migrant situation, if you're there for the fraud, if you're there for the criminal activity that's been transpiring, that's one thing. But now Americans are being hurt in the same token. What has changed? DL said it the best. With all the narrative of being able to carry a weapon, if you have 6 people on top of you and one man, which would make 7th, remove firearm from your waist without harm to anyone, and then you lose your life. How does that make it make sense? But there's something I'm not understanding. Maybe you can help me to understand something. It's the mayor. Because it seems like the mayor has called arms where people are to protect the migrants, which are allegedly the people committing the fraud and or the people who ICE is looking for. That's what they said, allegedly. That's just on these YouTube streets and or these internet avenues. So the question is this: why is said mayor not appealing to the law-abiding citizens to let them do their job as long as they're not harming anybody? If you feel they are, video record them, report it, but do not engage with said people. Why is he not doing that? Because you got to wonder. That is something he should be most predominantly pushing for the safety of the American people, in which is his constituents. So when things like this, it just makes me wonder even more.
I just saw a video of more than 6 masked agents pummeling one of our constituents and shooting him to death. How many more residents, how many more Americans need to die or get badly hurt for this operation to end? How many more lives need to be lost before this administration realizes that a political and partisan narrative is not as important as American values?
You heard him? Not as important as American values. His words, not mine. So when you see that, and then you see this, what American values are you possibly promoting in this instance? Food looks really good, huh? See, while you on the stage after the second incident has transpired, let's push the first one to the side. Let's say it is what it is. Let's say she was wrong in the first instance. Now we have the second one, which is kind of clear, cut, and dry, especially after you slow the video. Where is his words to the American people when it's really needed? Would it seem like that food you was eating in that Somalian restaurant with them Somalian gentlemen was really good? While people, American citizens, are on the street losing their life, you're in the Somalians restaurant really enjoying yourself. Sure looks really good there. It's a whole lot of food to only see 2 people at a table. But here's the real question. Why you sitting there enjoying meals and seem to pop out after an incident transpires with your constituents, legal American constituents at that, not even migrants? Documentary logic broken down at a street level. Is the ICE agents only to blame? Do they only, and are they only solely to get some blame in this? Or are there more people who should also carry the weight and or the blame of what is now transpiring in that community to American citizens? You see, it's easy to sit there with the people in which they were sent there to look for under fraud and all types of other scrupulous activities, yet and still you're enjoying a meal with said people. I don't see none of them, quote unquote, coming end as any American citizens. You sat on this big stage and said, we need to make this come to an end because it's not prevalent for the American citizens. How is a big bowl of food prevalent for the American citizens? How is it you telling the American citizens to not get in the way of what's going on? So no more people, American citizens especially, lose their life. We don't get that. We don't get anything. We get after the cause, the effect. The cause was the man lost his life. The effect was you, for the second time, taking the stage with a bunch of meaningless words. Am I wrong? Put in comments. Best believe I'll talk back. Make it make sense. The mayor of Minneapolis believes he holds no responsibility for what's transpiring in his constituents. Now, am I wrong? Or is there some type of equal weight that should be placed upon other parties? You already know this. It's your boy TW, uncensored and unfiltered. Don't ever play yourself. This is Uncensored New York TV.
Gun shot. Checkmate, motherfucker. Ah!